Well, the High Court in Polokwane in Limpopo has sentenced 2 prominent businessmen and their accomplices to prison. Makgato, Joshua Hlako, along with their accomplice Kumbelo Mabirimisa and Amanda Makgato, were found guilty on various charges, including murder of Ronnie Makgato. He was killed at Hlako's house in Seshego for business rituals back in 2006. He was kidnapped in Soshanguve, north of Pretoria, with the help of Amanda Makgato, and subsequently killed at Hlako's house in Seshego. Now, he was dismembered and his body parts were buried at the business premises of Hlako and Makgato. The SABC News reporter Koketso Mutau has more.
The High Court in Polokwane has handed down the sentences in what has been described as the ritual murder in Polokwane. We understand that the 2 businessmen, prominent businessmen in Polokwane, Makgato and Joshua Hlako, were sentenced to effectively 22 years in prison for killing Ronnie Makgato in Seshego in Polokwane. Ronnie Makgato, we understand that he was kidnapped in Soshanguve and subsequently killed at Hlako's house in Seshego, where his body was dismembered in order to, strengthen their businesses, to do the rituals to strengthen their businesses. And we understand that they've been facing 3 counts of murder, actually 3 charges. One is murder, kidnapping, and defeating the ends of justice, along with their other 2 accomplices, which is Amanda Makgato and Kumbelo Mabirimisa. So we understand that Makgato was sentenced to 22 years for murder, along with Hlako, and also they were also sentenced for 7 years for kidnapping and 4 years for defeating the ends of justice. While we understand that Kumbelo Mabirimisa was also sentenced for murder, 22 years for murder and only 7 years for, actually 4 years for defeating the ends of justice. While Amanda Makgato was only, sentenced for 7 years for kidnapping because she was acquitted of murder and also the, defeating the ends of justice. But to get more reaction on this issue, I'm now joined here by the NPA spokesperson in Limpopo, Mashudu Malabijangi. Thank you so much for joining us here on SABC News. This matter, we understand that it dates back to 2006. These people have committed this crime in 2006. 17 years later, now the matter has been settled and they've been, sentenced to prison. What's your reaction as the NPA?
As NPA, we welcome the sentence, hoping that this type of sentence will indeed send a strong message to will-be offenders. We're talking about the ritual murder, which was very difficult because there was no key witnesses, and then the people who participated in killing Makgato, they're the one who come out and talk and tell the truth about it. So we really appreciate the key witnesses in our cases.
We understand that the court has also mentioned that the NPA should not prosecute, Madume Siboni and Gabriel Matle because they were part of people who actually killed Ronnie Makgato. But they came forward with the information that actually assisted the police and also assisted the NPA to prosecute this, these convicts now as we speak. What is going to happen going forward?
Yeah, it's true, because the key witnesses, they're the one who came up with the information. It was difficult for them. They even testified in court that they were afraid of their life.
Mashudu, thank you so much for joining us here on SABC News. That is the NPA spokesperson in Limpopo, Mashudu Malabichangi. But I also want to bring in the sister of Ronnie Makgato, who was killed for these ritual purposes. And we understand that up to this day, his remains have not been found. It's Makgato. Thank you so much for speaking to us here on SABC News. Finally, 17 years after the death of your brother who was kidnapped in Soshanguve for ritual purposes, now the matter has been settled in court. These perpetrators have been now found guilty and sentenced to jail. What's your reaction as the family?
On behalf of the family, I would like to submit a word of gratitude to all our supporters. Before I can get into the real matter, all our supporters, the policemen, General Manala and the team members, the prosecution authority, Judge Meller and the team members. Really, we are really blessed that you made it thus far. Today is the day that the Lord has made. You know, the Lord, our mighty God, has planned this from long, and we have been journeying with Him. So we knew already that at the end of the day they will be prosecuted. We really welcome the prosecution, the judgment, or whatever the sentence, and we say others can take examples in this matter, that nobody is above the law. Thank you.
Yes, we understand that the two accomplices here, the convicts here, are your cousins. We speak about Makgato, the prominent businessman, who owns, lodges and, other businesses. And Amanda Makgato, we understand that the two are actually siblings, and they are both your cousin, and also the cousin to your brother, the deceased. What is the family saying about all this issue that now one of their family members or their relatives has been involved in the murder of Ronnie Makgato?
No, that one we have made peace with it. We have discarded them, as I've already mentioned, that they are out of our family. They no longer belong there. And the remains, Koketso, we confirm, undoubtedly so, they will bring our remains. And at the end of the day, we'll bury our brother with dignity.
And then maybe finally, when I conclude with you, it's been a long journey. How did this whole issue affect the family? Because obviously, taking 17 years to get justice is not a child's play, isn't it?
Yes, it was a very long journey. But because we are Christians, our Lord journeyed with us. Yes, somewhere there were potholes, but we just succumbed. We just lifted our heads above so that we cannot drown. Hence we are here. The end product is 33 years imprisonment.
Well, thank you so much. That is the family spokesperson, Makgato, who is also the sister of the deceased Ronnie Makgato. We understand that up to this day, as we are saying, that the family is still, adamant and hopeful that one day they'll be able to get the remains of Ronald Makgato and get to bury him with dignity. Because we understand that some of his body parts, which were dismembered, were buried in the business premises of these convicts who have been, sentenced to 22 years for murder.